And just have straight away, page 10, para 4.1. And they actually, I'll show the photographs he's annexed it. He did a very thorough exercise.
Right. The Dr. Satyendra Singh.
I'm obliged.
7 and 58. This will pose a very unique challenge. I just give. I am not taking any adversary. Whatever your lordship directs, we will follow. I am for the High Court, so there cannot be any adversarial approach. These are the basic facts. Copies. We wanted to fill up 222 vacancies in the civil judge cadre. Advertisement mentions 222. Examination schedule is one objective type preliminary examination. Those who clear prelims come for written test. Written test has one law paper civil 100 marks, one law paper criminal 100 marks, language paper Hindi 50 marks, English 50 marks, and those who clear. Come for the interview. The number of candidates admitted to main exam is 15 times of the total vacancies. That is how from prelim to main. Number of candidates admitted to interview would be 3 times. And there are some minimum percentage provided. The difficulty is number of candidates scoring between 0 to 15 is 95.76%.
Now, who corrected the English essay paper?
I know, that's what I wanted to say. I also felt it. Lord,
Mr. Solicitor, what these candidates who secured between 0 and 15, which are 3,384.
Yes.
Can we have, how many marks did they get in Law 1 and Law 2 paper?
I do not have right now.
They had a choice of answering in Hindi and English, but many of them answered in English and got good marks.
Most of them answered in English. More than 80% have.
Yeah, we are dealing with 0 to 15 in English, right?
In English,
exactly. So what we would like to do is this. Instead of us looking at random questions, etc., if you can give us for the 3,386 candidates, just quickly we'll run through it, then tabulate it. How much did they get? 0 to 15. What were the marks? And what was the corresponding mark in the Law 1 and Law 2 paper? Because suppose somebody gets 0 in English, but in Law 1, out of 100 gets 80, then it's a...
can't lose because of the language. But one thing I must tell you.
Now, because Law 1 and Law 2 were not objective type, they were all subjective questions.
Yes. Descriptive.
So,
one thing.
have some comparison between
I understand. That can be done. But one thing, in English paper consisted of 3 questions.
What are the topics, Mr. Mehta? Essay?
Essays.
What are the topics?
But
judges speak through their pen.
Acquittal and honorable acquittal.
Judges speak through their pen or something.
Rajasthan festivals and Chandrayaan mission. These were the 3.
Chandrayaan mission.
Chandrayaan.
Acquittal and honorable acquittal, or judge speaks through pen only. Then second, historical background, industry, identity of Rajasthan, festivals and fairs, Chandrayaan 3. So what has happened is, interestingly, these 3 questions, 1, 2 and 3. 1 concerning law went to a district level of, I'm sorry, one question concerning law went before one district judge level officer and he assessed the mark. The second question went before another English professor and he assessed the mark. And the third question also went before another third professor, and he assessed the mark. And the total is 0 to 50. So it's not as if someone was very strict and therefore he gave 0 to 50.
So, but one question was assessed by only one person, right?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Another question, whoever attempted was attempted by examiner 2, and the third question by examiner 3.
Yes, yes.
That itself could be
Right.
that in one examination, parts of the paper are going to different persons.
That always happens.
But
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
Even say, suppose it's a paper in torts.
Yeah.
And 5,000 people are appearing in torts. There will be like 5 examiners or 10,
Yes.
10 examiners. And then they try and bring some moderation.
Some model.
what actually is?
I'm sorry, my lord, one more fact, my lord, which may be assisting the court. My lord, there are 219 students whose marks are, my lord, 0 to 15 in English. But because of their good scoring in law paper, they are called for interview.
219.
219.
Now, in the English essay, what is the minimum qualifying mark?
No.
No, there
There is no qualifying marks for language.
Oh, I see.
For both
Yes,
Hindi
sir.
and English, there is
another difficulty.
You have to just appear.
You
And then
just-
they make the sum total of the marks.
the sum total aggregate has to be 40% or 131 as a total. So because there are
How many sum total has to be 48%?
40%, 40%
Or,
aggregate
or,
of all the four.
or 131.
Law 1, Law 2 is 35% each out of 100 marks. For the language, the paper is 50 marks, but there is no minimum qualifying mark for the language paper. The aggregate has to be 40% of all the four. And then they come out with a cutoff.
So if somebody gets very low marks in the English essay, then he can't or she can't make that 40%.
I'm so grateful. In fact, there are students fellows we've put in the chart where they have got around 50, 51 in the legal paper, in the law papers, but because of English, they have missed the cutoff of 131 by 0.5.
That's why we wanted to know how much did these students between the 0 to 15 bracket get in their law paper.
Yes.
I have the chart here.
Specify this, my lord.
I have the chart in
So
the.
here, what we can do is this.
My lord, at least,
Can-
my lord, those
you know, we can do this. We should find out what are the marks they got in Law 1 and Law 2. Because Law 1 and Law 2 also they were attempted in English.
Or Hindi.
Most of them in English, my lord.
Well, sorry, English.
So
In-
when they
both were permissible.
where they attempted it in English,
Yes.
how much did they get in Law 1 or Law 2? Because they won't be able to score high marks in Law 1 and Law 2 in English unless they know how to write English.
How to write descriptive answer.
I get it. No, one more problem.
This law paper 1 civil, law paper 2 criminal, all objective type?
No,
Descriptive, my lord.
Subjective.
Right,
Subjective.
detail.
Because the first exam is objective.
My Lord the Chief Justice is right, he must know the language if he has attempted in English. Well, the difficulty is, as of now, none of it is in the coded form. So if we have to give the figures, corresponding figures of Law 1 and Law 2, we will have to decode them, and that according to the officers, my lord, might compromise the system.
Now, where have we reached in the exam? Now interviews are being conducted.
Interviews are being conducted,
They will
and
conclude it
there
by
are
26.
at least, my lord, 2 candidates.
They will conclude it by 26.
Look, there are
What we can do is you need not decode the names, but on the basis of codes, can you not give us the equivalent marks secured by the candidate in the Law 1 and Law 2?
unless we decode it, how do we know, my lord, that Mr. X received this much mark in Law 1 and he has received, say, 10 marks in English? That remove that.
Suppose we don't look at candidate wise. But what will happen is,
The roll numbers would be declared in
how many candidates who secured between 15 out of 50 would be less than 33%, 30%?
my lord, I'm instructed.
Without looking at the equivalence for individual candidates, can we find out how many of these candidates who have received 0 to 15 have received at least the minimum qualifying marks in the in law 1 and law 2.
Not
Yeah,
yet,
I'm-
Mrs. Millard, I have.
No, Millard, it is not.
Size.
It's possible, Millard, because the scorecard has been announced already.
Therefore,
Each person knows their marks.
Oh, everybody knows their marks.
Everybody knows their marks.
taking this exercise.
There is no, Millard.
If your lordship just.
Nobody is opposing any of the petitioners. I am not opposing the petitioner.
They say that Jagdeep was saying that all candidates know their marks.
Millard, all those who did not qualify for the interview,
But those who are unsuccessful,
unsuccessful.
But that is enough for our purpose.
Yes.
Right. So even if we have, therefore, you take the list of those who are unsuccessful,
Yes.
those who have not made it to the interview.
We have it here.
1 second. Yeah, we want it to be done officially because we have to grant you some.
Yes, ma'am.
So those who, because they know the marks. So now you tell us what marks did they receive in the law 1 and law 2 paper?
that can be done. Unqualified people,
Yes.
those who are not, the coding issue is not there.
That's enough, Millard. No qualified person has challenged it and come before you.
Those qualified persons have gone to the interview.
And then it-
So when should we keep it? We can take it up in the morning. ऐसे लिख लीजिए. The learned Solicitor General has placed on the record a written note for the assistance of the court. Full stop. The written note.
But can it be a day more? Because they are also engaged in the interview. The registrar is here, the deputy registrar, assistant registrar is here, additional registrar is here, and the honorable judges are taking the interview. So they are in that process. They would do it simultaneously. Instead of Wednesday,
They take it up.
Thursday.
The note indicates that 3534 candidates appeared for the for the mains English essay, out of whom 3384 into brackets 95.76% secured marks between 0 and 15. Full stop. During the course of the full stop, it is common ground that the marks of those candidates who have not qualified for the interview have been disclosed to the candidates.
They will mark sheet they have given them.
And the mark sheets have been distributed. Hence, full stop. In order to facilitate the further, don't say in order to facilitate, the written main examination, besides the Hindi and English essay, consisted of law paper 1 bracket civil and law paper 2 bracket criminal. Full stop. We direct that a tabulated statement be placed before this court, indicating indicating the marks which were secured in the law papers 1 and 2 respectively by those of the candidates who secured between 0 to 15 marks in the mains English essay and who have not qualified for the interview stage. Full stop. The tabulation shall be placed before this court on Thursday day, when the proceedings will be taken up next. This one.
Take it for Thursday. Thursday.
May I have a request, Milord? Because Milord, most of them have attempted in the law papers in English medium. If they can if they can also give the, that is how we'll have an idea that somebody who is writing the English, then he is getting this much
In the
mark.
English,
That-
Mr. Solicitor, for those who did the law paper 1 and 2 in the English,
English, yes. That are-
we compare English versus English.
Without disclosing the number of students, candidates,
You are doing the tabulation.
number of candidates who applied.
No, what we are saying is, now these people who have not qualified for the interview, their marks are known. What we want to know is, out of them, those who did law paper 1 and 2 in English,
And Hindi.
give us the marks which they secured in law paper 1 and 2.
And Hindi also. Both can.
Hindi is not important, it's not a the issue is about the English essay. We'll take it only in English.
I moved in the writ petition. I suffered an order on 1910 I've moved an SLP with the very same day. My matter may be taken up along with these.
Yeah, you can list this matter also on Thursday. No,
We'll skip the
That's
direction.
My lords, may I mention, my lords, 9 more petitioners are moved before your lordships. I have circulated an email before your lordships.
tomorrow morning.
All right. My lord.
Lord, one petitioner has moved the High Court also. That's my lord, as a matter of fact I am informing.
Okay.
But that's okay. Your lordships are taking up the matter, my lord. So that would
Take
substitute
it up on Thursday.
only one, my lord, the problem. My lord, can we deposit the trunks here, my lord, rather than my lord,
You
carrying
have to take them and
carrying back? It's under the police security and sealed, etc. If it can be deposited in the registry.
the trunks containing the shall be kept in proper custody under the authority of the Secretary General till Thursday.
The Registrar General would hand over. The additional registrar.
They don't have to again take them back to.
Yes, but it's a hazard, my lord. Sometimes some accident takes place or something. They are original, my lord. Obliged to lodge.
59.
In 59, I have 113.5. There's no separate cutoff for the disabled
59
category.
although papers were served upon me, but formal instructions are yet to come because the administration thought it is in the same batch as 57, 58. Malad may keep this also on Thursday. Malad will take.
No difficulty. Only one thing, Malad, the interview. My only prayer is the next stage is the interview. Interviews have started. It's ending on Saturday the 26th. So Thursday, your lordships will take it up.
My lords, only one small request. And 2 identical writ petitions involving the same issue are pending before my lords. The same may also be taken along.
Can list them out.
I'll provide the details.
Yes.
Grateful.
Yeah, my lord, Professor Danda has made quite a good report.
We haven't got a
And she's